And I think I've always said that the background story is sort of Esther, where it's a biblical story. We see in the book of Esther, we get to see where Esther gets her destined defining moment, and where she had a choice either to keep quiet and preserve her life, so to speak, and just enjoy the comfort of being in that position where she was a queen, or she could use that to have a role, as we saw with Mordecai being the uncle, having to remind Mordecai about the significance of the moment where there was a crisis where the Jews are going to be wiped out unless somebody does something. And of course, Mordecai, being a mentor and a father figure in her life, was able to say, "Look, maybe God has placed in in the palace for such a time as this." Meaning, you being in your palace is more than you. It's more than being about you. And I think this is one of the key things I wanted to highlight. That sometimes people do get positions of power, but sometimes they can easily be caught up in enjoying the comforts of those positions to the point that they forget the significance of certain key moments. It happens to the best of us, where people get, it could be in church, it could be in college, it could be university, it could be in the workplace, where demands will be placed on you, or maybe challenges will arise when you're already in there, but you have the capacity and the power to do something. You'd be amazed. I hope some people say, "Look, I'm not gonna be bothered about that. That's none of my business." They'll leave it aside. But at the same time, they could have the power, maybe to change something. We see that across a lot of countries, even in terms of leadership, even in terms of companies around, and even in cases where sometimes certain people have been killed or certain people have been compromised because somebody who had the power, maybe to allow them to be released from a compromising situation, decided not to use their power. They just decided to say, "You know what, I'm going to just know what about. I'm just going to enjoy the comfort of my whatever it is that I'm doing, the benefits of whatever it is that I'm doing," and they enjoy that. But then they choose not to participate in anything that will sort of maybe go beyond themselves. And it happens to the best of us. And I think so. I wanted to just to highlight that part about Esther being in the palace to try and yes, Esther being in the palace. It's a time where she was meant to be able to use that opportunity to save the Jews from being annihilated. And I think she eventually did that, and we see that. And of course, key to that is, of course, Mordecai having to